Yo, what's up, everybody? This is your boy Jay Hyde, and welcome back to the channel, y'all. And y'all see it, we gonna talk about it. The State of Decay 3 gameplay video. Okay. First off, let me just shout out to your boy Brian Menard. Last week, let me before I get into that, great YouTuber, State of Decay to State of Decay in general. Ambassador, part of the player council. I mean, he really hooked us up last week. If you don't know who he is, which I would be very surprised that you don't know who he is, go check out his channel right now. Awesome content. State of Decay 2, of course. He got some State of Decay 3 stuff and other games. Go check him out right now. But I just want to say this. Last week, he really just gave us a gift in showing us some State of Decay 3 gameplay. All right. So in this video, you're going to get my reaction. We're going to talk about it. I'm not going to get into detail and show you everything from that gameplay. If you want to see Brian Menard's video with the entire gameplay, go to his channel and check that out. I'll try to put a link in the description for that as well. I'm just going to be hitting on some, key points and some things that really stuck out to me. My first disclaimer, and probably my only disclaimer before we get into this video. This is an alpha build, y'all. Okay, again, I want to say alpha. And again, I want to say alpha. And I want to say it again, alpha. Okay, so everything's not going to be perfect. It might be a little buggy. You're going to see a little hitbox things. You're going to see some weird motions at times, and some of the things are just not finished. So I'm not going to critique or criticize any of that stuff. I'm really just going to try to focus on gameplay and what we're seeing in this gameplay and whether I like it or I don't like it. Okay, we're not going to get into the little idiosyncrasies of alphas, but let's just try to keep that in mind. This is alpha. Nothing's finished. There's only placeholders in some spots, so I'm not getting into all that. So now that that's been said, without further ado, let's jump right in. Okay, all right, so we're taking a look at this video here. As you can see, Brian's starting off in the base. You get a quick little glimpse here of the base, which I like. You got your man over here walking up in the ready. I like that. We'll get into that later. But he's walking out the base now. You get a good look. This base kind of reminds me of the Walking Dead series, the prison base. I'm not saying that it is a prison base, but I get prison base vibes. So just in that short little clip there that we saw, and we'll jump back into this, I definitely like how the base looks so far. Obviously, we're not going to get into facilities. We'll get into that later. As per Brian, he can't get into a lot of that right now. But off that initial, I like the way it looks. And I like the way the graphics looks. The game looks really solid. It looks really good on that Unreal 5 engine. I don't know if I said that right. On the Unreal, on the new engine, I'll just say. All right, so here he's outside the base. Take a look, a little glander as he pans. He's walking around the vehicle now. Now, they were talking about the vehicles and repairs. You don't necessarily need a repair kit anymore to repair the vehicles. You can use parts to repair the vehicle. So I think that is a cool aspect added now. We can see this vehicle here. This is one of the vehicles in the game. A little sedan on some big wheels. It's got the reinforced doors and windows. So yeah, I like what I'm seeing so far, man. This looks really good. The bases and the graphics overall, I'm feeling it. All right, we're taking a look at this next bit of gameplay, which I just want to start off by saying this looks really, really good, man. Look at the detail here. In the ground, in the grass, it just looks really, really good. So, all right, he's pulling into this town area to grab some resources. We're just going to kind of react. Now, I think he's going to encounter a zombie over here. There's a couple zombies down there. All right, so we're just going to get a quick glimpse at a little bit of combat right here. All right, that looks good. All right, I like that. I like it. All right, that was probably like a quick little light attack. So now we're getting a look at the UI here. Look at this, guys. It's another vehicle, actually. He's grabbing stuff out of the back. I like the UI. I don't know if that's going to be the, the main or the UI that's going to end up in the final version, but I like the way it looks so far. I also want to take a notice here. Look how the player is, holding the gun up at the ready. It's not on the backpack. It's not, he's in a position ready to fire. I like that. I'm hoping you can kind of do both. Maybe you don't always be in the ready, but we'll see what happens. All right, he's going into a building here. Let's take a look. All right, look at that. Finding little parts. Okay, again. Look how quick that search was. Let's just take a look at that search. When he goes over here again, look how quick. It's not the pinwheel type of search thing from State of Decay 2. You get right to it. I like that. Now, he did talk about there is still some of those like moments where you search and you have like a loud noise. I don't believe we see that in this video, but he still said there are those moments. So I will say I like the fact that the searching is fast. You don't have to go through that long pinwheel action like you would have in State of Decay 2. That was kind of annoying to me at times. So I'm hoping this is what stays in the game and is not there just for the alpha. All right, in this clip right here, as you can see, he's encountered like a random survivor on the road. I like that. That's a nice touch. I hope that, that's something that's actually going to be in the game and not just like an alpha thing. That looks pretty cool there. It's going to come into play later, which I think is going to be, we're going to talk about when it happens. I don't want to say it right now. I don't know if some of y'all seen it, but okay. All right. Y'all see it right here, your man. All right. He's standing over there now. We're going to watch. She's walking to the left here. All right, you're not going to be able to hear it, but you'll see it. Because I don't want to put the sound on because I don't want to talk over Brian. But you see him up there. He's walking over to that building. Now he's busting shots. If you can see the muzzle flash, he's shooting at that building. So he's encountering something over at this building. See the zombie rushing in. I like that. That's a nice touch, man. That's pretty cool that you're going to run into survivors and they're going to be out there battling with whoever. I like that. Now, I want to show you guys this clip, this encounter with this zombie. So we're going to wait for him. He's going to get out the vehicle. Now, watch. When he encounters this zombie, just watch the combat and watch the finisher. It's really cool. It's one of the finishers in the game. Look at that. I think those are light attacks. Now, watch this. Bam. Bam. Yo, look at that. Yo, that's dope. Oh, my God. That is so dope. I like that. That's a really cool finisher, man. Yeah, that was cool. All right, this next clip, we're going to take a look at, he's going to be taking on an infestation. And as well, we're going to get a little peek at a little bit of screamer action, which I think is terrifying. But we got the screamer over there. We got some zombies coming in. And we're going to see what the screamers can really do in the, I love it. I love the combat, man. It looks like it's going to be really good once they get it polished up a bit. But there goes a screamer shambling over. I'm surprised he didn't scream earlier. Now watch this. He gets a shot on him. Okay, look. All right, we see it. It goes to scream. There goes the scream. All right, now watch. Watch how many zombies this freaking thing brings in, man. Look at that. That's at least maybe like almost 20 zombies right there, yo. At least. Oh, and even more coming in. And we're close to an infestation at that, so that's what made it even worse. That's crazy. All right, so we see him here taking on an infestation, and there you go. That is a plague heart in an infestation. So infestations basically in State of Decay 3, as we watch Brian dip and dodge through zombies, are going to be plague hearts. Little mini, not mini, but smaller plague hearts. That's what infestations are going to be. It's not just going to be a house or a building filled with zombies and, maybe bloaters and any other freaks. I mean, they can be there. But it's going to be plague hearts in buildings that you're going to have to fight to deal with infestations. Now, I don't want to say there won't be freaks involved in it. There will be. I don't know what level infestation was. I think this was pretty low. I think it might have been like a level 1. if I'm not mistaken. But that's what you're going to be dealing with when it comes to infestations in State of Decay 3. And we can see here another thing too. I want to point that out. I'll say it again. Oh, I'll say it again later. But you know, some zombies, if you have a low caliber ammo, will not go down with one headshot. You're gonna have to get a couple shots on him. See right there again. I'm assuming he hit him in the head. He's got to get a couple shots in the head before you can take zombies down in State of Decay 3. Some zombies. All right, so just keep that in mind. But I'm loving it. I like this aspect of it. Infestations will definitely be a little bit harder to take on, but I'm definitely here for it. All right, here we're gonna get a little clip of close combat, which, as you can see here, I think it's a little bit better and more intricate. See how he's kind of moving around and stabbing and jabbing and dipping and dodging. I think in this game, I think I would use close combat a little bit more. Look at it. Now, that was a close combat heavy attack. That was pretty cool. I like that. It looks like to me in State of Decay 3, I would actually use close combat if that's what it's going to look like. That was pretty smooth. And obviously, again, it's still alpha. You know, the movements and attacks are going to get a little bit better. But I can say so far, I like the combat. The gameplay looks relatively smooth. I know when I first watched it, it looked a little heavy to me. Obviously, I don't have the controller in hand, so I can't speak to that personally. But it does look a little smoother. The combat looks a little bit more fleshed out than State of Decay 3. All right, in this next clip, y'all, we are going to get a look at the ambience here. Getting a little shot of the map. We're going to talk about the map later. But here we go. Look at this. This looks menacing, man. I mean, the plague is present. I love the way they have this looking. Just that orange and yellow glow, the wind going. I mean, you look like you're in a storm of plagueness. Now look at him. He's attacking the jug. Wow, that was kind of that jug was kind of terrifying. He was starting to charge him, but we're gonna get a look here. All right, we got our normal jug slam. All right, he's downed. I didn't really understand what was happening here. I don't know if you can finish the jug or if he wasn't trying to finish him. But just watch this here. Watch this move. Boom. Look at that. Look at the leap slam. Look at the leap slam. That is crazy. Not only were they fast in State of Decay 2. Oh, and now he's raging. He's raging. All right, we're going to get another. Watch this. Watch this. Oh, another leap slam and a stomp. Okay, they didn't stomp in State of Decay 2. All right, and then nigga, look at that. Look at that. Look at the bloater in the back. The bloater to add insult to injury. So watch this part right here, y'all. This part is really cool. Brian is on the ropes. Look at that survivor on the left. Revived him. Now, that's what I was going to talk about, man. That's what I was saying when I said I was going to get back to random survivors in the world. Look at that. A random survivor came out of nowhere. There was no connection. It's not from his base. It's not someone that, you know, he befriended or did a job for at all. It was just a random survivor in the world that showed up and saved Brian. Now, I don't know how often that would happen, but that's dope. I like that a lot. You know, it just brings realism to the game that someone who could just be out there in the world would jump in and revive you. Not only just save you and attack the jug, but it revived him. So there will be a revive, I guess, mechanic in State of Decay 3. So I thought that clip was dope, and I wanted to make sure that you guys saw that. All right, the next thing we're going to talk about here and show a clip of is the Plague Nest. So now we got Brian in the middle. He entered the Plague Nest here. Now, in Plague Nest, you're going to have nodes. You're going to have little nodes, plague nodes, that you're going to have to attack before you can take down the heart. Here goes a node right here. You go for the node. I guess it takes about maybe 2 to 3 swipes. I guess you can see the play card there on the left. It is encased. Oh, shoot. There was came out of nowhere. Yo, that's crazy. There goes that leap. There goes that leap. Again, here goes another node. Boom. All right, he's got 2 down. So you get the idea here. You're going to be running through the nest, and you're going to be trying to take out these nodes to loosen up the plague heart so you can attack it. Meanwhile, you're going to be attacked by runner zombies, walkers, I'm going to call them, which are the slower ones, and other freaks that might spawn in. Now let's get to the plague heart. All right, now you can see the plague heart is exposed, so now you got to go after it. This is when you can take the heart. They are massive. They are massive, bro. And they actually look like an actual heart, which I think is pretty cool. That's a nice touch. Now look at that. Here goes the plague fart. That looks pretty cool. I like that. There was a bloater there. Now you can, you know, I don't want to say cheese the bloaters in a way, but you can attack them if they're about to spew the toxin. When their belly looks like it's about to glow a little bit, they're sucking in that air. If you shoot them in the stomach, as Brian showed us, you can easily take care of him. But look at that heart. He's going right after it. And oh shoot, there goes a juggernaut. Out of nowhere. Yo, that jug is still hanging around. Oh my god, that is crazy. But that's pretty much Plague Nest in a nutshell. Once you take out the nodes, you can now attack the heart. Alright, so what I want to talk about is basically this clip in general. I don't want to get show too much of the Plague Nest. Like I said, you can go to Brian's channel and take a deeper look into him actually playing. But I want to say that was very important to me, him showcasing an attack on a Plague Nest, because my concern was that you were only going to be able to deal with Plague Nests in a group or with people supporting you. This part of the video showed me that Plague Nests are possible to go after solo. So I love that. And that's reassuring as a player who likes to play solo and doesn't play a lot of multiplayer. Again, I want to touch on finishing move. There was a couple finishing moves that I picked up on, like this one right here, like he slid under, stomped the head. I'm really impressed with the combat here. There's going to be another finishing move that he does here on this zombie when it comes over. Combat seems like it's going to be really fun in the game. Again, I'm going to be doing that all day right there. And that, a finishing move where he hits the back of the, crushes the back of the head of the zombie with the back of the gun. So, again, I just wanted to make sure I put that in there and showed you guys that the combat seems like it's going to be really smooth and fun once they tweak it and we get to the final product. I like that little slide move as opposed to in State of Decay 2 where you kind of duck under and come around the back. This one seems more feasible, a little bit more realistic, or at least more cool. It looks really cool. Like you would actually do that slide tackle a zombie, get up, stomp it out, stomp the back of the head, maybe stab it, hitting the head with the back of your gun. So I think the combat is going to be really, really fun and awesome in this game. All right, here we're going to get a look at some bloater attack. Look at this. Watch how far they can shoot, man. Look at that. Look how far that is. Yo, that's kind of crazy. Yo, is that a feral right there? Oh my god, we got bloater in the feral action. All right, now we're going to get a look at the feral now. Look, that's his regular charge. That's his super fast charge. Look at that. Oh, and look at that. Look at that charge. Look at that leaping charge right there. So let me just kind of pause. Let me just shut the video right. Hold on. Let me put that down. So that's the thing that Brian talked about. So first of all, we saw the bloater. We got an idea of what his attack looks like, and you can see it in real time how far and dangerous he can shoot that acid. I'm gonna say acid. I don't know what it is. But then at the same clip, we got a picture of the feral. So the feral has a regular charge, so it'll charge at you at a pretty decent speed. Then it kind of rages and it charges at you at like a super speed. And right when it gets within a certain distance of you, it does this leaping charge attack. And he was saying that it can one-shot you. In some instances, it can one-shot you or do severe damage. So let's just say your health is low and a feral's chasing you and he gets that leaping charge at you and he hits you with that. That's a one-shot. He said you're going to be downed if your health is relatively low. So ferals are very, very dangerous in this game. More dangerous than State of Decay 2, Lethal Zone, and all that. They're way more dangerous in this game. So keep that in mind when we get this game in hand and we're out there in the world. It's not just a regular charge. They're going to be able to get that leaping charge on you and down you if your health isn't critical. All right, now last thing I want to talk about here before we wrap this up is the map. All right, so in this gameplay, we got to look at the map. And I want to say now I'm talking down the line. I'm talking about after I had seen this and then when I saw his follow-up video where he talks about the gameplay in detail. Initially, when I saw the map, I was a little thrown back, and I mean in a negative way. And I was going to go the negative route with the map. But when I watched his next video and he added a little bit of perspective, it kind of helped me understand the map in general. So when you see the map here, it looks small. It looks like a regular State of Decay 2 map. And to me, I thought the map was supposed to be 4 times the size of State of Decay 2. This looks like a State of Decay 2 map. But he added perspective saying that the icons kind of make the map look smaller. And I think just the way it's viewed and looked at here, and you can't really get, I guess you really can't see how massive it is. So I'm going to try to find a screenshot, and I'll put in this video later of the next video that he talked about the gameplay where he showed a Meager Valley map inside of the State of Decay 3 map, and it gives you a little bit more perspective of the map size. So he's saying it is a massive map. Don't let this particular shot of the map fool you or sway you into thinking that, hey, this isn't the map they said they were going to give us. He's saying that it is a rather large map. It's going to take you time to get around the map from one end to the other. And he even proposed a challenge to us saying that, hey, I challenge anybody to get out on foot day one when the game comes out and go from one end of the map to the other. He said it's going to take you hours. I'm tempted to take him up on that offer if I have the time, which usually I don't. I don't have a lot of time when it comes to making content. But I'm gonna trust in Brian. He's a very reliable source, so I do believe that the map is bigger than we think it's gonna be. So everybody who's concerned about the map, maybe just take a deep breath. You know, we'll trust in Brian. Take a look at these shots here. Like I said, I'm gonna try to put the shot up there when they put Meager inside, and trust and believe this is going to be a 4 times larger map than in State of Decay 2. So I'm trusting in Brian on this one. I'm trusting in Brian that we're gonna get the larger map that we want. Okay, so overall, let's wrap this video up, y'all. Overall, minus the alpha aspects of this gameplay, like I said, nothing's perfect here. We got a lot of placeholders. Some of the movements are a little janky. But I'm not putting that against the game. I'm just looking at the game in total, just the gameplay. I like it. I like it a lot. Bruh. I don't know if y'all thinking of the movie. I don't know if it's a movie, but like, you know, I like it a lot. I don't know what movie that's from, but that popped in my head. I didn't want to say that, but now I just said it. But I'm gonna go on a limb and say, I like it. It's a major go. I love what we're seeing. The freak zombies, jugs, bloaters, screamers, I love it. The zombies, how they move, how they attack, how they assemble, I love it. The looting, I'm liking what I see. I'm liking the player movement, the combat. I'm liking everything. I'm liking the fact that you can take on the Plague Nest solo. This game definitely looks like a solo play from what I'm seeing. It's not just multiplayer geared. So I'm liking it, man. I'm really excited. When I saw this gameplay, I got excited, man. I got excited. You got to kind of untrain your eye from State of Decay 2 and kind of train your eye to a brand new game. Because that's the way it seems like to me. It seems like it's a really different game. Even though it's State of Decay, it seems very, very different. And go to Brian's channel, watch his videos. He can attest to that. He's going to tell you that. It looks different, but different in a good way. You're going to have to retrain your eye. So even with me not playing, and it was said in Brian's video, I don't even really want to play State of Decay 2 no more. I haven't even played State of Decay 3. I just watched it. But I like it. I'm loving what we're seeing in the gameplay. I can't wait to see more and hear more. State of Decay 3 is going to be a blockbuster. I feel like I'm really going to enjoy it. If I had to say one negative, and this is not related to the gameplay, the one negative, and I said in the beginning, is the base building. We don't know much about the base building yet, but just the fact that it's preset is a negative for me. It's a no-go for me. I really don't like that. Is it make or break? No. But that's the negative I can put out there and say I'm not feeling that. But overall, I love what we're seeing. And with that, we're going to end the video here today. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you enjoyed this content. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.
Peace out. Ooh, ooh.